Former First Lady Laura Bush called the policy cruel and immoral, while GOP Senator Susan Collins expressed concern about it, and a former advisor to President Donald Trump said he thought the issue was going to hurt the president at some point. Religious groups, including some conservative ones, are protesting. Mrs. Bush made some of the strongest comments yet about the policy from the Republican side of the aisle. Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine said she favors tighter border security, but expressed deep concerns about the child separation policy. What the administration has decided to do is to separate children from their parents to try to send a message that if you cross the border with children, your children are going to be ripped away from you, she said. That's traumatizing to the children who are innocent victims, and it is contrary to our values in this country. Former Trump advisor Anthony Scaramucci said in a weekend interview that the child separation interview could be dangerous for Trump. He said the president should be immediately fixing this problem. This is a fuse that has been lit, he said. The president is going to get hurt by this issue if it stays out there very, very long. The signs of splintering of GOP support come after longtime Trump ally, the Reverend Franklin Graham, called the policy disgraceful. Numerous religious groups, including some conservative ones, have pushed to stop the practice of separating immigrant children from their parents. This pressure is coming as White House officials have tried to distance themselves from the policy. Trump blames Democrats falsely for the situation. The administration put the policy in place and could easily end it after it has led to a spike in cases of split and distraught families. Nobody likes breaking up families and seeing babies ripped from their mother's arms, said presidential counselor Kellyanne Conway. Trump plans to meet with House Republicans on Tuesday to discuss pending immigration legislation amid an election season debate over one of his favorite issues. The House is expected to vote this week on a bill pushed by conservatives that may not have enough support to pass, and a compromise measure with key proposals supported by the president. The White House has said Trump would sign either of those. Conway rejected the idea that Trump was using the kids as leverage to force Democrats to negotiate on immigration and his long-promised border wall, even after Trump tweeted Saturday, Democrats can fix their forced family breakup at the border by working with Republicans on new legislation, for a change. Asked whether the president was willing to end the policy, she said, "The president is ready to get meaningful immigration reform across the board." To Representative Adam Schiff, D. California, the administration is using the grief, the tears, the pain of these kids as mortar to build our wall. And it's an effort to extort a bill to their liking in the Congress. Schiff said the practice was deeply unethical and that Republicans' refusal to criticize Trump represented a sad degeneration of the GOP, which he said had become the party of lies. There are other ways to negotiate between Republicans and Democrats. Using children, young children, as political foils is abhorrent, said Sen. Jack Reed, DRI. Even First Lady Melania Trump, who has tended to stay out of contentious policy debates, waded into the emotional issue. Her spokeswoman says that Mrs. Trump believes we need to be a country that follows all laws, but also one that governs with heart. Mrs. Trump hates to see children separated from their families and hopes both sides of the aisle can finally come together to achieve successful immigration reform, spokeswoman Stephanie Grisham said. The House proposals face broad opposition from Democrats, and even if a bill does pass, the closely divided Senate seems unlikely to go along. Trump's former chief strategist said Republicans would face steep consequences for pushing the compromise bill because it provides a path to citizenship for young dreamer immigrants brought to the country illegally as children. Steve Bannon argued that effort risked alienating Trump's political base and contributing to election losses in November, when Republicans hope to preserve their congressional majorities.